Hey guys, welcome to another podcast with Main Street Moments. This is Kathy.
And Brian.
And you can hear us on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Today we are going to talk about the trackers. Once again, one of our subscribers left a comment this morning asking if we would please comment on the trackers' latest video. So we had to run to the TV and go watch it because we didn't know what they were talking about.
All we knew is something big happened and we missed
enough
it.
for them to say something to us.
Yeah.
So what happened is yesterday the trackers did a live stream from their house, and they were doing a live fundraiser for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, now let me read the title to their live stream. They did a home live stream. Live show, let's catch up. Let's help raise money for Planned Parenthood. And of course, this is Tim and Jen Tracker's response to the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade on Friday.
Right. So that happened on Friday. And also on Friday, Disney sent out a press release that they had sent a letter, an email to all of their employees that they would pay for travel expenses for employees to get abortions if they needed to travel out of their state. Right now, Florida and California still have abortions as legal, even though Florida just restricted it to 15 weeks or less. And we wanted to know, we don't want to make this like our personal political opinion here, but we wanted to know what you guys thought about Jen and Tim doing something like this. And they've raised, including their matching the money, over $40,000.
Yeah, so what they said they would do is they are going to match dollar for dollar every donation that comes through. Now, Tim and Jen Tracker kept this donation going, this fundraiser going after the live stream. So it continues even as we speak.
Oh, my goodness.
And right now, the total amount, as of now, and again, this will be going up as time goes on, however long they keep this going. But I imagine at some point, they're going to have to, or going to want to, stop it because they're matching it. But right now, viewers have donated to Planned Parenthood through the Tim Tracker live stream $21,024, of which they are going to match this. Now, this live stream that they did was, I felt like Tim Tracker was under duress a little bit from his wife, okay? She was very emotional during the live stream.
She was crying.
Yeah. And Tim did not seem comfortable with it, and I think he was uncomfortable with it for two reasons. One, matching dollar for dollar, and that's going up. And even though that is tax deductible for them,
that's still a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but he's got the Tim Tracker money.
That's true.
That's a lot of those
still,
designer sweaters.
But that's a first class vacation right there.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is their cruises
that's
cost
a tracker
more than this.
vacation. Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, so the matching, but also I really do believe that Tim Tracker was not as comfortable. He went along with it, and I'm not saying he disagrees with her, but he was not as comfortable getting so political on their channel as Jen was. Now, this isn't the first time they've done things like this. A year or two ago, when they first lost their press credentials with Disney, they were being called racist for
a passive vlog.
A long video they did where they dressed up in very stereotypical thing. It was bizarre. And what they did to try to make good on that was they started at the end of their videos asking people to donate to organizations that were bailing rioters and looters out of jail.
Right.
Which, I don't know, I guess they
stopped doing that.
Well, I guess they were to make people think they do not dislike black people. They want you to donate to organizations that bail criminals out of jail. It was almost as if they thought that looters, rioters, criminals are African Americans. It's very bizarre.
Their form of reparations.
It was very bizarre.
It was bizarre.
They could have donated to other organizations.
Another dumb move.
Like the United Negro College Fund or one of the historic black colleges, but they were...
Exactly.
Yeah, so this time...
It was weird.
This time with Planned Parenthood, there was one moment where Tim and Jen briefly had a bit of an live stream confrontation with one another. At one point, Tim Tracker says, well, no one supports abortion. And Jen said, I do. And then Tim said, no. He said, he said, you support the right to choose, and one of those choices is, and she really didn't quite get what all that meant. But
clearly, he's more uncomfortable with abortion than she is. She seems to be all for it.
Well, uncomfortable going public with it on their channel, which is a travel channel. So a couple things here.
But he did say he doesn't know enough about it.
Yeah.
He's not as well informed.
Yeah.
And being a man, that makes sense. Men don't always go out of their way to learn about these things.
I don't know, but
sometimes.
I'd like to ask you guys to let us know in the comments how you feel about the Tim Tracker raising right now, because keep in mind they're matching. So right now it's just over $21,000. That means they've raised $42,000 for Planned Parenthood, and it continues to go up until they stop the fundraiser. How do you feel about them raising over $40,000 for Planned Parenthood? That's one question. Let us know in the comments. Here's another question. What do you think about their politics? Because now this is just me.
Or them even talking about this is very divisive.
This is just me. When I'm watching Tim Tracker, I'm watching Tim Tracker to get information on where I can get the best popcorn bucket or what the ride times are. I'm not watching him for virtue signaling. And Jen Tracker said something that I thought was very arrogant and very nasty towards their viewers, which would include us because we were viewing it. She said that if you disagree with them on this issue, you are ignorant.
Well, what happened is somebody was commenting while they were doing the live and said something to the effect of, what about birth control? Like taking precautions so you don't get pregnant. And she went on this tirade of how birth control is not available, blah, blah, blah. I don't know who can't get birth control these days. And she said, if you think that, you're ignorant, which I thought was very rude. I wouldn't call people that. And by the way, they're ignorant on a few things. But it's hard to talk about this without getting political ourselves, and we don't want to make the channel about that, but let's qualify it this way. Our channel is not the same as their channel, okay? We do not, this is has turned more into a podcasting platform where we are meant to give our opinions on things. That's what a podcast is for. That's what this podcast is for, to give opinions on certain things. And I really struggled with discussing this today because I said to Brian, how can we say that they shouldn't get political and now we're getting political? But you made the point, well, our channel is not the same as their channel. They're like a travel channel. And the money they make, now if you go to Social Blade, they make over $16,000 a month off YouTube right now. It used to be $30,000, so that's gone down. Social Blade tells you what all the channels make. And I'm sure they have other income maybe, but the viewership, and they get hundreds of thousands of views.
Oh, yeah.
Pays for their vacations. They have very elaborate, very expensive vacations. More power to them. But we don't do that. And like I said, this is obviously we don't have those kind of viewers. And this is a podcast format now more than anything. We're not like a travel thing. So I don't think our channels are equal on those equal grounds. This is a discussion type.
No one's equal
forum.
with the trackers because
but I'm saying
they have more subs than anyone else that's a theme park vlogger.
I know. I just don't want to come across as a hypocrite because I'm saying that they shouldn't get political so much, especially something so divisive. But we're really just reacting to them and what they said.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay.
So, if you think that's hypocritical, I can't help it.
Anytime you get involved in politics, you're going to alienate people. And it's fine for people to be upset. But I did notice, I checked just a little while ago, and I know this isn't a lot compared. They have over 880,000 subscribers. Yesterday, they lost 1,000 subscribers. And I know that's not a lot compared to how many they have. But I went back and looked. That is the only time, as far back as the list went on Social Blade that I looked at real quick, that they've ever lost subscribers.
So, in that big of a chunk.
And Jen actually said that if you don't like this and you want to unsubscribe, that's fine.
If that's the most they lose, they'll be fine.
And,
that's
here's a thing you've got to consider, okay, that they're doing too. I think most people who watch the Tim Tracker watch for the information on the parks. out of all the vloggers at the theme parks, Tim Tracker, I'll tell you, he's top tier. If you watch it, and we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I like his vlogs.
Tim Tracker is very, very good. When he goes to a theme park, every second gives you valuable information, and he's very good at going through things. He's very good at that. But when they're donating out, not just are they having a fundraiser, they're matching the dollars, and it's over $40,000. The money, it's their money, but it's money that they've earned through people viewing their channel. Right. So
if you have an issue
they have very
with them supporting that, then that that could be a problem.
It's a little bit more than that. They've made a decision.
Yes.
To take a very controversial position in this country. Okay, abortion is a very divisive issue in America. It always has been, and you know what? It will be for many years to come. They've made a decision to, one, tell viewers of their channel that don't agree with them on this that they are ignorant, and then they take the money that they've earned through those ignorant people, as they call them, viewing their channel, and donate it to an organization that they don't support. They've really taken a very, very, I think, very bad stand on this. I don't appreciate it at all.
I don't think it was a good move for their channel. And like I've said, our channel is not like their channel. So I think we discuss issues like this. So I don't consider it the same thing. But I think for their particular channel, where they're out spending money that they earn off YouTube and going on $25,000 vacations.
That's their thing.
It's their thing. But I think...
But this is a different level.
I think them coming out, she sees it as brave, I'm sure, and it's her thing. She was crying. She's obviously very emotional about this. And she sees this as so important to her that she's willing to risk. And hey, you got to give her props for having conviction. And I admire that in anybody. But I'd like to know if you guys appreciate her conviction, no matter what the issue is, or if you feel this is not the right place. But, you know, they have a platform. They're known. How else are they going to do this? I mean, this is how they do it. Now, we're not raising any money for anything. Not that we could raise $20,000. But I'm just curious what you guys think about that. And
there are some now listen, there are very few negative comments on their video about
very
this.
Few.
But there are some, and then they seem to disappear. But here's one I just saw.
They could be deleting them.
Somebody just left a comment just about an hour ago. It says, "Wow, heartbreaking to see such a video. Please take the time to watch an abortion or view the YouTube video." Then they mention a YouTube video. "I pray your eyes will be open to the evil of abortion. God bless." Somebody left that on that
Let's
video.
See if that stays up there. And I will say this.
Here's another one, Kathy. I'd like to read. "This channel is swaying from what made it great. Stick with the theme parks. You may not believe me and you may not care, but the writing is on the wall. People watch your vids to get a break from reality, not to talk about reality."
See, that's why we're talking about this, not so much to give you our opinion on the issue, even though you might be able to figure it out, but to ask you what you think about them discussing this. They obviously have a much, much larger audience, huge platform, a huge following. And do you admire her for doing this, or do you think it was a bad move? Is it going to cause you to unsub them? We did a poll on our channel, and it's pretty divided, 50-50. It gets kind of oscillating back and forth.
Here's another comment. Now, these comments I'm reading are the comments that are left on the Tim Tracker video. Here's another one. This was made 2 hours ago, as now that I'm speaking. "Planned Parenthood was founded on the goal of committing genocide on blacks."
That's true.
Yeah. Why would you ask people to invest in it?
See, that is the problem I have more than anything. Is our daughter's adopted. She's biracial. Emily, she's half black. And Planned Parenthood was founded by Margaret Sanger in 1916. And she was an unabashed Nazi sympathizer. She was into population control. She felt that anybody who was going to give birth to anybody defective or a minority should have the baby aborted. She basically founded Planned Parenthood to eliminate black babies. And she has flat out said it. If you Google her and her quotes, that was part of the whole reason she founded this organization. And she, people might say, well, it's not like that now. that doesn't matter to me. I mean, if you want to raise money to help people, with pro-choice and that's your thing, I guess if that's what you want to do, I'd rather raise money to help animals or to do something else other than fund abortions personally. But why Planned Parenthood? Why that organization? Does Jen not know their history? I mean, considering the tracker's history with African Americans and dressing up like stereotypical black gangsters and getting so much heat for that, why would they raise money for an organization founded by a white supremacist who founded the organization to literally eliminate the black race? Does she understand this? Maybe she doesn't. Would it matter to her? I don't know. But I don't support Planned Parenthood. I think it's an awful place. It's obviously Jen loves the place. She was crying. Mm-hmm. She got her birth control from there for 10 years. She thinks that they're the greatest thing in the world. Does she understand the history of this organization? And it does matter. Don't say it doesn't because it was 100 years ago. It does matter because a lot of these Planned Parenthoods are in African American communities, and they still abort black babies and other babies, obviously, which, but I don't understand her funding this. And I understand why it's so important to her to fund this particular group. By the way, I think it's very weird.
When Jen was talking about birth control, she got birth control from Planned Parenthood for 10 years. Was that before she was with Tim or after? I thought that I saw that.
She's not that young. She's like 35?
I thought it was a little strange to talk about with your spouse birth control before, you guys
Well, then
were together.
she turns around and tells you how hard it is to get birth control. So that was a little contradictory. There's no reason for in this day and age for anybody to now. Obviously, people can get pregnant without planning. There's rapes and incest and things like that, which are horrible, and they do address that as well. And that's a whole other issue there. But and like I said, I don't want to get too into that.
Well, they didn't get into a lot of the minutia of what the Supreme Court ruling means. I think because they don't really understand it. Tim Tracker even said in the video he doesn't understand really how the government works, even though he
did say that. Well, he needs to read a book and figure it out.
Or he should have paid attention in high school.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not that complicated.
But the overturning of Roe v. Wade does not in itself outlaw abortion. It leaves it up to the states, and the state of Florida, where they live, abortion is legal.
Still legal.
Yeah.
I don't think Ron DeSantis is going to do anything about it.
No, and
he did make it 15 weeks or less.
And there's another thing I'd like to add about the trackers. Okay, now again, I could be totally wrong about this. Mm-hmm. Okay, I view the trackers, especially since they bring their young son into it, as a family channel where they're going family.
Right.
Here when I say going family, what I mean is they brought their son.
They brought Jackson into.
So they want to appeal to families and things like this. Is it appropriate to have this as a discussion in the context of that channel? You know what I mean? There's families subscribe to that, and I'll tell you, if one of the kids in the family, who knows how old they are, they're browsing on YouTube at home. This comes up because their family subscribed to the trackers to get theme park information, and all of a sudden their child is getting all this very detailed description about sex and birth control and
Jen would tell
abortion.
You it's very appropriate.
I don't know.
I have a feeling.
I don't think they thought it out too clearly.
Well, she's obviously very passionate about it. I think being passionate about Planned Parenthood, I'm sure it's not just Planned Parenthood. She's passionate about pro-choice. And that is her opinion, and she's entitled to it. As far she is, and I'm not going to malign her for that. I don't agree with her opinion. I have a different opinion, obviously, but I think it's strange that they would do this on their channel. I think it's extremely divisive. Now, some of you might think it's brave, and that's fine. Let us know. But of all the organizations, why Planned Parenthood? I know she has a connection with Planned Parenthood. But the roots of this organization are very racist. And considering their history, like I said, with that issue, I think it's not a smart move. And, I'd like to know what you guys think. I'm curious how much this is going to go up to. Tim's going to be writing a big fat check.
Well,
here.
I'll tell you, the trackers are not new to controversy.
No,
okay?
they're not.
And we've talked about some of them in the past. But this one, I don't know. I think this was from a business perspective, on their channel, I think it was bad. What I talked about, a family channel.
And I think it was driven by emotion and not clear thinking. I think if they would have waited a week, I could be wrong, but maybe they would have rethought it. Mm-hmm. I got the same impression from you that Tim wasn't so gung-ho on this, that he was very apprehensive. And she was like all for it. Like, she said she's pro-abortion basically and all this stuff. And which is strange
when you watch the theme park vloggers, if you watch them enough, you can get some indication of their politics. Okay. And I'll give you two right now. Okay.
Yeah. Including us.
I believe that Adam the Woo is a Republican. And I'll tell you why I believe that. I've seen him take tours of presidential museums, and when he goes to never seen him go to a Democrat presidential museum. When he goes to like the Reagan Museum, I saw it was a very good vlog. He knows a lot about Ronald Reagan and Republican things. Yeah. So I can and his father is minister. So and so there's other things too, but that's a big one. And I'll tell you another person who I believe is a Republican. I don't know if I should out them. I believe Michael Kay is a Republican, and
yeah, but I don't know if your reason makes sense.
I picked up a lot of things from him and everything else, but when
get into that.
When they did this live stream, and I saw this morning, the trackers, I was shocked.
Yeah, I was shocked too. Regardless of now, like I said, like you said too, there are comments disappointed in them, but there's a lot of comments on their page and on Twitter supporting, people saying thank you so much. And so, like I said, you might see this as brave that she's showing her conviction and everything like that. But,
well, Kathy, stupidity is not bravery.
Yeah, so you think this was stupid?
Yeah. I mean, bravery is, that there are going to be consequences and a sacrifice will be made, but you're going to do the right thing.
Well, you don't think that's what you don't think she knows they're going to lose subs?
No. I think, no, I don't think they think they'll lose.
She even said, if you unsub me, I don't care.
I don't think they believe, this is what I think.
I disagree with you on that.
I think they believe that they're going to lose a handful of people. Like, 1,000 we saw so far. That's nothing on the size of their channel.
No, that's a drop in the bucket.
We're gonna get into a new category and get a lot of new people that have never heard of us because they're involved in this issue because there's demonstrations going on. For example, I think the introduction of their son into the channel was a way to reach new people. Who's that kid on YouTube? Ryan. The kid on YouTube.
They might want to make him the next
They want
to
be the new Ryan, I believe, in their family.
Oh, he's worth millions.
So I think they believe, our old people, we lose some, we're going to gain a whole new category of people. And I think that's misguided because people they would gain because of the political issue, they're not going to hang around because they don't care about the theme parks. They care about this issue. You understand what I mean? So if they join their channel, they'll be out down the road.
You think so?
Yeah, there won't be long-term viewers. I think from a subscriber and business perspective, it's very short-sighted thinking and stupid.
I was thinking about it today, and Brian and I have been waited to do the podcast till this afternoon because we really wanted to think about it and be thoughtful. And
we didn't want to do a reactionary
right, because we watched the video this morning at like 8 o'clock, and we're definitely going to talk about this, but we wanted to ruminate on it and really think about it. And I was thinking, I don't know any other vloggers that get political like they do. I don't know any other vloggers that raise money.
Well, there's been
Spokesman raises money for kids, give kids the world. That's not a political thing. We can all agree that's a good organization.
The Trackers, Resort TV One, Spokesman, and quite a few other vloggers have done the Give
Kids the World.
Yeah, a lot of people have done Give Kids the World.
But none of them have done political things.
But Give Kids the World, which, by the way, is a great charity. It's kind of like Make-A-Wish, but for Disney World, for kids.
That's what they should have raised money for, I think.
That is a beautiful and wonderful organization. This is a polarizing organization that they've raised money for.
And it's a horrible organization, but I'm saying, I don't understand why they are the only vloggers I can think of that have raised money for something. And like you said, a couple years ago, they were raising money regularly after their vlogs for organizations that got people out of jail that were looting and rioting.
Yes.
I mean, that's very political too.
That's
So
right.
obviously they're liberal, very left wing, very like radical liberal.
But I don't. But somebody.
But no
somebody's
other vlogger does that. So why is this so important
You know
to
why?
them to do this? Why do they feel that they need to use their channel?
Arrogance, because
so?
they have so many subscribers, and Tim would never have done this. Tim was uncomfortable because he doesn't want to write that big matching check. I'm telling you.
He looked a little uncomfortable.
And also he knows
but
getting
I think Jen
getting
has him on a short
political
leash.
like this is not smart.
I don't think it's smart, and like I said, I would rather them raise the money for a different. But that's my own personal opinion,
Yeah.
like puppies or something, or Give Kids the World. That's
Give Kids
a
the
lot of
World's
money.
amazing, yeah.
So they're going to be giving Planned Parenthood right now over $40,000, which funds abortion. So
Yes.
if you're pro-choice, you'll love it. You'll think it's fabulous. If you're pro-life, you're not going to be so happy.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll do a follow-up where they show the check. Like,
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I'd like to see that,
But
guys.
maybe. But I want to know, you guys obviously know what we think. I want to know what you guys think about them and what you think about them doing this, raising money. Do you think it was a good move? Was it a stupid move? We're just really curious on what you think about that. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for listening. This will be interesting to read the comments for sure. Hope you guys have a really good day, and we'll see you soon.